Good morning, dear brothers and sisters. Today we will see the book of Leviticus chapters 1 to 3. In Leviticus chapter 1, God tells Moses how the Israelites should bring burnt offerings to him. He instructs them to offer animals from their cattle, sheep, or goats. The animals should be male and without any defects. When someone wants to offer a bull as a burnt offering, they must bring it to the entrance of the tent of meeting. They should place their hands on the bull's head to symbolize that it represents them. Then they must slaughter the bull in front of the Lord, and the priests, who are Aaron's sons, will collect its blood and sprinkle it on the altar. Afterward, the person offering the bull must skin it and cut it into pieces. The priests will arrange the wood on the altar and place the pieces of the bull on top of the wood. The fire on the altar must be kept burning, and the smoke from the offering will rise as a pleasing aroma to the Lord. If someone wants to offer a sheep or a goat, the process is similar. They should bring the animal to the entrance of the tent of meeting, place their hands on its head, and then slaughter it. The priests will sprinkle the animal's blood on the altar, and its pieces will be arranged on the wood. These burnt offerings serve as a way for the Israelites to show their obedience and worship to God. It is a means for them to seek forgiveness for their sins and demonstrate their devotion to Him. By offering these sacrifices, they acknowledge the need for atonement and the significance of their relationship with God. In Leviticus chapter 2, God provides instructions for grain offerings that the Israelites can bring to Him. These offerings are made with various types of grains such as wheat flour, barley, or even baked bread. The purpose of these offerings is to show gratitude, dedication, and worship to God. When someone brings a grain offering, they are to present it to the priests at the entrance of the tent of meeting. The offering should be in a specific form, such as fine flour mixed with oil or unleavened cakes made with oil and seasoned with salt. The person offering the grain should bring it in a basket or on a flat plate. Once the offering is presented to the priests, they will take a handful of the flour or the cakes and burn it on the altar as a memorial portion. The aroma of the offering will be pleasing to the Lord. The rest of the grain offering belongs to the priests, and they are to eat it in a holy place, such as the courtyard of the tabernacle. God gives specific instructions about what should not be included in the grain offering. It should not contain leaven or honey because they have a fermenting quality. Also, salt should always be present in the offerings, as it represents the covenant between God and His people. The grain offerings are not meant to atone for sins like the burnt offerings, but they are a way for the Israelites to express their devotion and thankfulness to God. It is a voluntary act of worship, and it shows their acknowledgement of God's provision and blessings in their lives. In Leviticus chapter 3, God provides instructions for peace offerings, which are offerings made to express gratitude, fellowship, and devotion to Him. These offerings are different from burnt offerings and grain offerings because they involve the sharing of a sacrificial animal. The peace offering can be a male or female animal, such as a cow, sheep, or goat. When someone brings a peace offering, they are to present it to the priests at the entrance of the tent of meeting. The person offering the animal is required to lay their hand on its head, symbolizing the transfer of their worship and thanksgiving to God. The animal is then slaughtered, and its blood is sprinkled on the sides of the altar. The fat portions of the animal, including the fat covering the internal organs and certain specific parts, are to be removed and offered as an offering by fire to the Lord. The priests have the responsibility of burning these portions on the altar. The rest of the animal is considered a shared meal. The one bringing the offering, along with their family, can eat the meat in a joyful and festive gathering. They are encouraged to eat it on the same day it is offered, and any leftovers should be consumed the next day. There are certain guidelines regarding who can partake in the peace offering. It is intended for those who are ceremonially clean and in a state of well-being. It is also permissible for foreigners who dwell among the Israelites to participate in this offering. The peace offering serves as a way for the Israelites to express their fellowship and thankfulness to God, as well as to share a meal together in His presence. It is an act of worship that fosters unity and joyful celebration among the worshippers and acknowledges God's blessings and provision in their lives. Dear brothers and sisters, we will continue to the next chapters in the next video. God bless you. Amen. Kindly subscribe and share with your friends and family.